Madagascar is our next jewel on the trip, a short flight from Réunion. As we fly over the barren ground on the way to the capital, Antananarivo, we are reminded of the challenges that Madagascar faces. The beauty of Madagascar lies in its people and its unique wildlife. But the people are pushing the wildlife into ever smaller enclaves. We're headed to one of those special places, Antasebe Matadia National Park. We have a 5-hour scenic drive to get there. We take the opportunity for some drive-by shooting, capturing daily life in the Malagasy countryside. The fruit and vegetables look very good. It's wash day. The clothes are left to dry on the grass and rocks. Agriculture is Madagascar's largest industry, employing 82% of the workforce. Rice is the main crop in the Central Highlands. 2 crops a year are possible on predominantly small family farms. About 60% of rural families raise some livestock, mostly cattle. Zebu cattle are well adapted to the tropical climate. In addition to milk and meat, the zebu are used for plowing and pulling carts. Our home for 3 nights is the Vikona Forest Lodge. In the middle of the coastal rainforest, the main building sits over a small lake. We settle in and it's time for dinner. In the mornings, we're reminded that being in the rainforest means that it rains here. Before breakfast, we're out to see what wildlife we can find. Like this comet moth, this male has a wingspan of almost 8 inches. Following the breakup of Gondwana, Madagascar split from the Indian subcontinent around 88 million years ago, allowing native plants and animals to evolve in isolation. Today, 90% of the wildlife is found nowhere else. There are 14 species of leaf-tailed geckos endemic to Madagascar. They're so well camouflaged, I don't know how our guide spotted this one. For many species, especially birds, they evolved separately from the African species and now rate Malagasy or Madagascar as a prefix. Quartz flycatcher is endemic to Madagascar too. It doesn't rate the prefix because it's unlike any other in its genus. The Ana-la-Mosa-Outra Special Reserve is a unit of the national park. We haven't even left the parking lot before we have wildlife sightings. What makes this place special is the Indri, the largest lemur. They only live in the lowland and montane forests along the east coast of Madagascar. They're herbivores and prefer young, tender leaves, but will eat seeds, fruits, and flowers. But before we spot the Indri, we see another lemur, the diadem shafaka. They share the same range and food preferences as the Indri. You can hear the Indri long before you see them. It really starts to rain as we set out to explore the main part of the national park, but our guides are used to it. So we gear up and set out into the rain. Most of northern Madagascar was once like this. Now the national park protects some of the last remaining old-growth forest in the country. Most of the wildlife is hiding from us, but we do manage to spot a few. And now for the most fun you can legally have in Madagascar, an up-close lemur encounter on Lemur Island. The brown lemurs have been habituated to humans. They know they will get bananas and carrots, and they climb all over us to get them. Some black and white ruffed lemurs have also learned the trick. To see some of the shyer lemurs, we need to take a canoe ride. They're the very cute bamboo lemurs and the beautiful diadem shafaka that we've seen before in the park. And a cousin of the black and white ruffed lemur, the red ruffed lemur. An appropriately named ring-tailed lemur spots us. We beach the canoes and the not-too-shy ringtails come to investigate. Another fun thing to do is the night walk. Much of Madagascar's wildlife is nocturnal and will be missed on a park visit during the day. We saw chameleons during the day, but at night they're out hunting. The tree frogs seem to be more active at night too. Moths are big here in more ways than one. The highlight of our 2 night walks was seeing the Goodman's mouse lemur up close enough to take some really good pictures. Mouse lemurs are the smallest primates. They're less than 4 inches long and weigh less than 2 ounces. The Goodman's mouse lemur is only found in this forest. As we were walking out of the forest, we saw this lethal-looking scorpion. Then back to the lodge for dinner, a 3 horses beer, and some lively entertainment by Velon Androy and his band. In the morning, we have 5 hours to retrace our route back to Antananarivo. Luckily, our van is a little more comfortable than this bush taxi. Madagascar is a very poor country with per capita income of $405 per year. Corruption and bad government have taken a toll. But the people are smart, industrious, and resilient. 43% are under the age of 15. Madagascar is the world's principal supplier of vanilla and cloves. Madagascar has one of the world's largest reserves of titanium ore. Madagascar currently provides half the world's supply of sapphires. But the majority of the roads are unpaved, and those that are in disrepair. 56% of Madagascar's power is supplied by hydroelectric power plants, but access to electricity is limited in the rural areas. Despite the high potential for tourism, it's underdeveloped. In 2017, 255,000 tourists visited Madagascar. On a tourist per resident basis, Madagascar ranked 189th in the world. Election campaigns are currently underway. With the right leadership, Madagascar has a lot of potential. Madagascar could be a magnet for ecotourism, a major supplier of minerals and agricultural products, and people could move out of subsistence living. Will it happen? I hope so, because the next generation of Malagasys deserve it. And with that, we have arrived at the airport, and we board the Black Pearl for our next destination.